I'm going to definitely do the 12 meter. Okay, let's do the small bus this time. Oh yeah, here we go again. Let's do this. And we got the short bus today. And if you'll notice, the, what did I say that was yesterday? There's the Europe car. Oh man, when I was editing this game yesterday, I remembered some of the stuff about the geography. Oh, where did it end? I don't remember. Alright, come on. It's the middle. Nothing helps me. Okay, let's get in the bus and then we'll figure it out. We might have to like spend a little bit more time talking today than we did yesterday. I for ignition. Wait till the... I'm assuming it needs glow plugs to warm up. Press and hold I. Let's get that route number in there. 5, 1. Alright, I think we're ready to go. So what I did is I chose a... So it's slightly quieter. I chose to do the... I chose to do the route that's backwards from the one I did yesterday. And I had a lot of fun editing yesterday's video because there was a lot of information in there, a lot of accurate geographical information that I thought was interesting. You could see actual buildings in Germany that are represented in this game. I tried to put some notes in the game, in the video. I tried to put some notes of what buildings we were at, like just a couple. I didn't want to overwhelm the first video with. Of course, I'm trying to talk when there's a ticket. Single ticket. The lady interrupted me. So I tried to put some little edits into the video yesterday of popular buildings that we were by. Like I know one I did was the Russian embassy. There was a bus stop like literally at the doorstep of the Russian embassy, which I thought was pretty interesting. I mentioned there was a little round, like a sphere-looking thing with a spire on the top of it. That's actually a, I don't want to say a tourist attraction, but it's a landmark in Berlin. There's like an observation tower and a restaurant up there. I forget what it's called, of course, because it's in German. That's probably what I did remember. But I just found it interesting that all these places are real in Berlin, and the map is true to Berlin streets, so that's kind of cool. One of the turns I took was, I made a comment about, oh, this looks like a main street, like a busy commercial street. I turned left at that stoplight, and if I would have turned right, I learned on Google Maps, it would have taken me to Brandenburg Gate, which, for history buffs, should be a recognizable name. So I learned a little bit more about this game during editing, which I just found fascinating. So it is what it is. And I think I found out that the times on the GPS are actual times and when you should arrive, when you're scheduled to arrive, and what the actual time is. still trying to wrap my head around exactly what's what, but we'll get that eventually. The game is a little clunky with its choosing what route you want to take. Like when you're starting the game up, you have to choose. Is there something in my way? Alright, that's kind of a last minute switch. I wasn't looking at the GPS again, of course. So the game's a little clunky in the entry portal to the game where you gotta click what you want to do, what bus you want to drive. It wasn't really obvious to me the first time I played where to choose what bus I wanted to drive and what route I wanted to take. Because you have to like go to a different page. But I figured it out this time. I chose the shorter bus. I didn't even realize I was driving a bendy bus yesterday on that first video. So I chose the shorter bus this time. And since I'm not familiar with the streets, I need to really learn how to drive off the GPS. Because using the GPS in a street you don't know is like the key. See, there's I think that's the Opera House, if I remember right. Berlin Opera House. And yesterday we did a stop just short of the Opera House, over there where that red van is on the left side. So, which is cool, it's got real, actual landmarks in the game. I don't know what that statue is, but I'll bet you that's in actual Berlin. Because I noticed they took the time to get some of the artwork correct. The developers of this game took time to get some of the artwork correct. Like I was going over a bridge where there was a bus stop, and there was some metal sculpture artwork on the bridge in real life, and they put it in the game. So I thought that was pretty cool. They took the time to do that. So I guarantee you that statue is not something the developers just came up with. I bet it's... actually there in Berlin. So, very cool.
Unter den Linden, Friedrichstraße.
Yeah, this is Unter den Linden. It's just the Broadway line with linden trees. Oh wait, that's the right turn. I'm so used to America, that would be the bus lane. Google does have an interesting feature where it gives you the German names on the map if you look at Google Earth or Google Maps on the Google website. But once you're interested in something and you click on it, then it turns into your language, which in my case is English, and it gives you the English translation. So I was curious what this one word meant, and it gave me the translation. That one wasn't as smooth. I messed up the camera. A little bit easier to drive a bus that's shorter, that's for sure. Wait, where did my GPS line go? Whatever. I keep forgetting that the bus lane is the second lane. I keep wanting to get back over because of the American bus stop system. What happened to my GPS line? I was talking yesterday, I was like, where did my GPS line go? And I realized that it just disappeared and put me on the next block over, which wasn't my fault, it was just something the GPS does. So the GPS is a little funny. Like I was following the route. But I wasn't really paying attention to it that much, and the line like disappeared. Nope, after the intersection. The line like jumped to the next block over to the right. So when I did look at it, I thought I was in the wrong street, but what it was the line changed I'm guessing what happened is when the GPS line flickered or changed or whatever, I probably noticed it out of the corner of my eye and looked at it and saw that the line, I only saw the line's second position, so I thought I was on the wrong street. But in actuality, when I was able to review the tape or the footage, I was actually on the right street. There was a little glitch in the GPS. It's way easier to drive the small bus. Maybe it's just a psychological thing. It's getting a little foggy. Let's turn those lights on for safety. I'm filming in the morning today, so I have my... Oh no, I'm in the wrong lane. And where's my GPS? Like my GPS should pop up. Like what the heck? Is there a map button? See, the GPS is like disappeared, but it's not giving me the line. Did I miss a stop? No, I did that stop. Okay, let's get rid of that. Well, where's my GPS line at? It disappeared! It's messing with me. So it was pretty cool. While I was editing, I was able to follow along on the actual Google Maps and follow the path of the bus when I was making the turns. Actually, now that I think about it, this Marshall Brookie stop, that's Marshall Bridge. The bus stops in this game are accurately located to the Berlin actual bus transit lines and stops. That's kind of cool. I was wondering if this is the road where if I go straight, that would be the Brandenburg Gate and all the memorials and stuff like that. Because I think this is where I was coming out, where those cars are, and I was turning left right here to go on the Linden Broadway. Here we go. Alright, we'll see if this GPS pops up after I make the turn. Well, at least I was able to look at a map without the GPS and figure out where I'm supposed to be. Hope you all are doing well. I think I started to say that I am filming in the morning today, so I'm back to having my coffee and my Pop-Tart.
Marschallbrücke.
Yesterday I woke up and I downloaded this game because I knew it was going to be released. I knew I was going to buy it. I knew I was going to play it. So I downloaded it, installed it, and then I had a little bit of a hiccup trying to play it. I don't remember what my issue was. I couldn't play it immediately. Whoa. I couldn't play it immediately because my steering wheel wasn't hooked up. That's what it was. So I had to rehook up my steering wheel and get all of the buttons mapped the way I wanted. Plus, I played the game a little bit to introduce myself to the game. That was weird. Yeah, I was a little on the curb on that one. Sorry, folks. So after I set up my steering wheel and pedals and got all the buttons mapped the way I wanted, then I played. So it was more in the afternoon when I played and edited and posted and did all that. So today I'm back to my normal routine. I literally played video games all day yesterday. Between this and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Charité Campus Mitte.
Trying to get it recorded for YouTube. You'll notice there's a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2 videos going up on my channel right now. It's just because it's my favorite game, and I started to play it at one point for PC, but I never finished it. So I started it over so I can have a good recording of it for YouTube. And it's not that I think anybody's going to be interested in watching Red Dead Redemption 2 on my channel, being that it's an older game, but I want to be able to go back and watch it later, so I wanted to get it on the channel. So right now you'll notice there's a Red Dead Redemption video popping up on my channel about once a week, every Friday. I'm trying not to spam that Red Dead Redemption footage because I don't want you guys to be inundated with notifications and whatnot on an old game. But I will give you a warning, in May I'm posting pretty much every day in the second half of the month so that I can get that game all posted. I want to get it on the channel and done. And once a week, it was going to take me 2 years to get this stupid video, or the videos posted on my channel, so I really had to. Yeah, that's right. I was confused by that sign. I thought maybe it was a do not enter or something. I got to get that Red Dead Redemption up, and once a week is just not enough. So in May, you're going to notice that it's going to go one video every day until it's done, just because I'm trying to get it done. Here's the street with all the hospitals on it. I did notice there's a lot of parks. Oh my gosh. I hit the wipers. Okay. Got a full bus today. I think I'm a little behind schedule still. As soon as I put my signal on, those cars stop. That's awesome. Well, I don't know what else to talk about. I was just fascinated with this game, how it actually uses the real map of Berlin. So congrats to the developers on that. That must have been quite a challenge. A lot of people are talking about Flight Sim 2020 right now because of its, accurate map of the world, the entire globe. But really, it's a computer program that guesses where buildings are based on satellite photos, where this is a very accurately detailed map of Berlin. And it seems to be very detailed with park locations, crosswalks, bus stops, building styles. You'll notice some things aren't exactly right if you compare the game with like Google Street View, but man, the developers really knocked it out of the park on this one as far as the visuals being accurate to real life, because it is amazing. Like, I noticed a couple differences in the Grand Central Station. I don't know what you'd call it. I forget. I said it on the video yesterday, and now I can't remember, but it's what we would call a Grand Central Station. It's the main union. It's the main station in the town for all the trains. It looks a little different in the game than it does in real life, but it was very minor differences. I mean, you could tell it was the same place. So, again, kudos to the developers for getting that right. Did I stop right in front of a pole? Oh, that's the back. I put the back door right in front of a pole. That's not good. Anyways, you know what? I never said who I was. I just started talking at that stop, and I never did my little intro. In case you haven't figured it out yet, I'm Old Guy Gamer. This is a new game called The Bus. In case you can't tell, it's about a bus. Oh my. There it is. This is a tour bus. Not a tour bus. This is a metro bus, a commuter bus, whatever you want to call it. Just a downtown transportation line. We are in Berlin, Germany. I'm talking like everybody saw my video yesterday. It might not be the case. This might be your first time watching, so thanks for joining in. Glad you can be here. Hopefully we can get through this video without running our front corner of our bumper into something. I did have a slight rub yesterday. Oh, it's green. Still haven't quite figured out this GPS yet, though. I don't know if I'm ahead of schedule or behind schedule. Oops, we'll need that one, probably. Oh, I was just talking about the train station. There it is, on the left. That is the main central hub of the train station system in Berlin. Trim the trees, you can't see the green light. That is so cool. That's like a real life thing that would actually happen. The streetlights get covered by trees. They didn't make the world perfect. That's so funny. They let a couple trees hang in front of the stoplight so you can't actually see the whole what color it is. That is very cool, people. The developers really thought ahead. Maybe there's a real tree that hangs in front of that light in Berlin when they were doing their studies. That would be kind of funny. So, complaints aside, this video, I'm going to do nothing but give props to the developers on this just because the visuals are on point. Just really, really good. I haven't really been looking at the car modeling. I did see a Ford Fusion back there. I'm seeing a lot of the transit vans. Let me look around here. The thing is that we Americans don't realize sometimes that there's a lot of car brands in Europe that we don't have over here. Like the Seats and the... what's the one that's owned by Chevy? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, whatever. We don't gotta talk about cars the whole time. If I stop thinking about it, I'll actually remember it then. See, there's another Ford Fusion. Oh, a Vauxhall. That's the one I was thinking of. See, I said if I stop thinking about it, I'll remember it. The Vauxhall. I was trying to get over. Maybe that's 2 lanes going through there, and I just didn't realize it. You got your Range Rover. Oh, no, that's the Mercedes G-Wagon there. I wonder if they use the real names or if they just avoid using names.
U-Bahnhof Turmstraße.
So they can get away with doing the likeness of a vehicle that's popular. I was actually just watching Wheelie Dealers yesterday when they did the G-Wagon. Watching all the old episodes of Mike and what was the mechanic's name? Oh no, I'm gonna hate myself later for not remembering their names. Ed, Mike and Ed. My goodness. Kind of close to the end of our tour here. A lot of this stuff is starting to look like the beginning of the route yesterday. I can't tell if this is 1 lane or 2. I'll just get in behind everybody else. markings to make it say that it's 2, but... Oh no, 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 no. I gotta turn right here. Don't pull up on me. Now I've gotta beg for this guy to let me in, or someone to let me in. We'll see. Will they let me in? No, he's creeping up. He's not gonna let me in. One other thing I noticed about Berlin, which I found fascinating, was the streets aren't just a grid pattern like you find in America. If you're an American, you've probably heard that Washington, D.C., when it was first designed to confuse people, to intimidate foreign dignitaries. They made everything, there's a grid pattern, but there's a bunch of diagonals that are meant to confuse people on purpose. Well, if you think Washington, D.C. is confusing, come to Berlin and try and figure out the streets. There's so many rivers and curvy roads, and there's not a lot of grids. I mean, some of the residential neighborhoods, it look like, are smaller grid patterns, but most of the major streets are diagonals and crooked and curvy, and I would imagine they would be very intimidating to a visitor trying to navigate in a vehicle. I'm trying to keep the screen so I can see the money box and the ticket box and the person. But it's not possible. I end up just looking at their crotch because I can't fit it all into the screen. Are the bus drivers jerks in Berlin? Let me know. If you're from Berlin, let me know. The bus drivers in there do something like I just did, jump the green light so they can get ahead of another car. I would imagine you have to be aggressive. Because if you drive defensively, you're never going to get anywhere.
Turmstraße, Bonzelstraße.
You're going to be stuck waiting for cars who never let you in. But that's America. In general, we're not very courteous drivers. I mean, they train us to be defensive drivers when we're in driving school, but really, people aren't that courteous when they're driving. As a rule, typically we're pretty aggressive and not very defensive drivers. Comment if you disagree. Very cool bus driver game. Nice and easy, low stress. It'll be a little bit better once I can get used to just the details of the game, driving, so I can actually talk to you guys without having to think too much. I'd like to be able to drive and talk about other things other than just the streets. I feel like all I've been talking about is the game and the bus and I don't know. What have I been talking about this whole time? I didn't really have a plan when I started playing. I just started playing and figured I'd talk about whatever I talk about. I do have my my idea book for writing prompts that I could talk about things. Oh man, skilled driver in the house. What's up? I'd like to get to the point where I can play this game and talk about the writing prompts instead of always just talking about Berlin architecture and street design. I did notice one of the businesses was the actual business name. It was Eurocar or something like that. There was a Eurocar building on the map and in the game. I thought that was interesting. Flash a light between the buildings, or what? Whatever. Some sort of lighting snafu keeps showing shadows and then not. If you guys like this game, give it a like. If I get a bunch of likes, I'll play it some more. I will probably play it just because the bus driving games for some reason get a lot of views on YouTube and not a lot of people play them consistently. Like I played Bus Simulator, I don't think it was within the past year. It might have been over a year ago, and it still gets a lot of views. People just love those bus driving games, so I'll probably stick with this one as long as my willpower allows, as long as it's interesting enough to drive and play. But the likes will definitely help. It'll help be your way to communicate to me that you want to see more of this game. And if you like the video, obviously it'll help the YouTube algorithm select videos for you to watch in the future. And of course, I would always appreciate you subscribing. That actually helps me out because I need to hit a minimum number of subscribers to monetize and make some money off of ads on YouTube, which is my goal for this channel, just to create a little supplemental income for my retirement. That's what I'm here to do. Anybody need a ticket? Ticket? A doner kebab. Doner kebab. How do you say that? I don't know how to pronounce the O with the O-bomb. I did have to learn how to type the umlaut, though. This is the bridge that I was talking about that had the little metal sculptures on it that they recreated. In Berlin, they actually have those red metal sculptures on this particular bridge. So, kudos to the developers for getting that stuff done. I did notice even some of the graffiti on this game, on the walls. It's not the exact same graffiti that's on Google Earth, but it does show graffiti in the same kind of places that is in the real world photos of this area. Very, very cool. The developers did a lot of studying and a lot of research, it looks like, as they were designing this game to keep it true to life. So, A+ to them. I'm zoomed in a little bit more than I normally am. What is my fuel look like? Oh, that's air. We'll look at it later. I'm assuming I don't need fuel because it's just one route. I don't think they're driving me enough to need fuel. Out of that lane. My bad. I didn't know I wasn't in the right lane or the correct lane. All right, if you're American and you're looking at those gas prices and saying, wow, they have really good gas prices over there. Remember, that's a different currency. It's probably a euro, 139, and it's also not per gallon, it's per liter. So for that price, it's in euros, and they get less gas because it's not a gallon, it's a liter. I actually want to say Europeans pay more for gas than Americans do if you do the exchange. versions. Now I'll get over. There we go. I recognize those taillights. What kind of car is that? I want to say Kia, but I'm not positive. Or a Hyundai, maybe. I don't know. When I was a kid, we would play this game where we'd drive around at night. And I mean, obviously, we didn't go out to play this game, but as we were driving places, we would try and guess the oncoming vehicle just based on the shape of the headlights, or be able to tell the kind of car in front of us based on the shape of the taillights. We used to be really, really good at that game. We could tell by the headlights what kind of car was coming at us at night. Sometimes I'll break that game out of my bank and I'll play it. I have a job where I drive for a living, so I'll play that game and I'll try and name every car that passes me. Sometimes it's easy because there's not a lot of cars on the road, but sometimes if you're on a busy road and you're trying to name every car that passes you just by name, not by year, just by name, they can be kind of difficult because there's a lot of cars out there today. Try it, you'll see what I mean. Anybody want a ticket? Those guys are twins. Same clothes even. I don't really understand this monitor thing because it shows the traffic on the right. So it's showing the correct vehicles. There's the new truck. So it's front to back view. Where's the camera? I'll see the camera. It takes getting a little used to because I look at this monitor up here to see if the passengers are all done getting on and off, but the passengers are on the left side of the screen. That represents the right side of the bus. Just a little confusing, that's all. Wait, are these parked? I thought they were stopped for a stoplight or something. Oh my goodness. I thought that lane was going through. They're just parked there. Well, that's a little different, parking in the through lane. Taking a 2-lane road, making it a 1-lane. Well, we're coming up on our last stop. I just remember the last stop was Tegel. Or Tegel. Hope you guys are enjoying this game. If you're from Berlin, let me know. Let me know if you like this game, if you like seeing your hometown in a video game. It's been done before, it's just never been the actual name of the town. Like Liberty City, that's New York. What's the name of, is it Vice City? That's Miami? And the Grand Theft Auto games.
Flughafen Tegel.
Let me know how you like seeing your city in a video game digital format. If you're new to my channel and just checking me out, say hello, leave me a comment, I'll say hello back. I'm small enough still where I can say hello to everybody who says hello to me. Introduce yourself. I like to know all about you guys. See who my audience is. If there's a particular game you want me to play, well, I don't know if I'll do that, but hey, let me know. Maybe I'll play something just because you said you wanted to see it. you want to see one more of a game that I've given up playing, let me know. Maybe I'll bring it back. I do know that I'd like to play Flight Sim 2020 more often, but it's just one of those games that's hard to play for me because I have to hook up the flight yoke to play it, and it's just a bit of a hassle to get the steering wheel cleared off the desk and put the flight yoke back in. And I know people like those videos because I was basically touring small towns around the U.S., and I actually had some ideas about what towns I would do next. I feel sorry for the guy who was asking me to do I did a flight near his home, and he asked me to do his hometown and fly by his house, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely, that'd be so cool, but I just took away my yoke, and I don't really feel like putting it back up right now, so I had to let a guy down and tell him I couldn't do it. But I've always remembered that he asked me, one of these days, I forgot your name, dude, but I'll get back to Fox Lake and I'll fly that little stretch that you asked for. Just gotta wait until I'm in the mood to do a bunch of flight sim all at once, and then we'll get it put back together. Like this game, I had to put the steering wheel back on the desk because I hadn't used the flight yoke or the steering wheel in a while. Well, now I'm using the steering wheel. You know, I'm getting it done. I'm playing the game with the steering wheel. So it'll be the same thing with the flight yoke. When I get it hooked back up, we'll get that video in there for you. Oh, no, that's taxi. But if you want to see more of this game, please leave a like. I'll try and do my first goal for this game would be to do each of the routes. So we'll see how that goes. I think I'm in the right lane, the correct lane. I hope I didn't screw this up. Oh no, maybe I'm in the wrong. I am in the wrong lane. I should have been on the elevated deck. Darn it. When it said to curve to the right, I thought it was meant to be on the lower level. Which way? Really? Man, I made one wrong turn. I gotta go all the way around. Gotta go around half of the cloverleaf to get going back into the airport. Alright, well now we know we gotta be on the upper deck. It makes sense. Most airports that I've been to, the arrivals are on the upper deck, and I am taking people to the airport. I probably should have thought that through a little bit better. What's the smallest airport you've ever been to? Leave me a comment. I once had to fly into Washington County. I think it was Maryland. It was right on the state line between Maryland and Pennsylvania. I think it was Washington County Regional Airport. It was one of those places where it's just small planes, and it's like a small building, and the person who checked me in was the one who scanned my baggage and got me on the plane and did everything. It's kind of funny. That's how small of an airport I've been in. The smallest international airport I've ever been in, Tegucigalpa, Honduras. One runway. One building. There is no multi-level parking, departure and arrival section. It's all one level. Very small airport for being an international airport, but very interesting ride into that airport. If you've ever flown into Tegucigalpa, Honduras, you know what I'm talking about. That plane landing is like a roller coaster ride, getting in there to not hit a mountain and land the plane. Berlin Airport looks like the size of a normal international airport that I'm used to seeing. So this is it, guys. This is the end of the video. This is the end of the tour. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe to help me out. And like the video if you want YouTube to show you more videos like this. And plus it tells me that you want to see more of this game, so I'll see you back here next time. You guys go watch some more videos, and I'll go play some more games. Come on, people. This is the last stop. Get out.